You'll find scouts and intrepid internet travelers. Welcome to my channel. I am Josh, or Binge Buffoon, if you will have me. Episode 6, Ladies of the Willow World. Lady Achiba returns to Osaka in order to accelerate the region's campaign against Toranaga. The term, the Willow World, refers to the community of geisha and the traditional establishments where they perform in Japan. And no, geisha are not courtesans for you ignorant. They're cultural icons of Japan who entertain guests through music, dance, conversation, and other arts. They are also models and ambassadors of traditional Japanese culture. I feel like this episode is going to subvert that definition because it obviously centers on Achiba, and she seems to be, at least according to her menacing countenance, she's out for herself, riding the coattails of the heir's birthright. But I could be wrong. Maybe she's wonderful. She could definitely be wonderful, but that's not really how the show has been framing her. She's like the evil queen from Snow White, you know? She is sexy, though, I'm not gonna lie. I don't know why I said that into the mic. Some ASMR. Sexy. Everyone in this show is sexy, though. Not the least of which is Hiromatsu. This show's one sexy person away from being a CW show. Just kidding. I say things a lot. I'm kidding. Good morning, by the way, if you're watching this in the morning. Good evening if you're watching this at night. Just in case I don't see you. Good afternoon as well. I don't know if returning viewers noticed, but my mic is in front of me. The audio will sound better, I assume. My voice will sound clear. And I'll keep doing things like this now, because it's right in front of me, and I have ADHD, so I get distracted by things that are in front of me. And next to me and behind me, all over the place. The castle 22 years ago. Are we gonna get Achiba and her backstory? Why she is the way she is? Achiba? Oh, it's our dearest Mariko. Oh, we're getting this backstory. Oh, they know each other. Obviously. But intimately, they hung out as little girls. This is the bad rock, you know, the terrible ruler. Oh, wow. And that's why she always thinks about that image of her father, as if it was or is a dream. It's a nightmare that haunts her when she's asleep and when she's awake, you know. There she is. Training. Our dearest Mariko. Buntaro did always have eyes for her, but she didn't like. It's a worthless alliance. That's some real wisdom. No, it's not. Maybe it is. It's kind of egocentric. But that advice is, she did sort of take that advice in retrospect. That's what she does now, right? You serve something greater. Your duty is what endures. That's the advice she took. Wow. It already makes Achiba more interesting that she had this sort of friendship with Mariko, though. This show is so good. Right now an ad's playing, and it's the trailer for A Complete Unknown, the Bob Dylan biopic starring Timothée Chalamet. I love Bob Dylan. I don't know if I like the casting of Timothée Chalamet. It feels very like, you know, the powers that be were sitting there And they said, Timothée Chalamet is really popular now. You know what he needs to do next? He needs to do a biopic. It just seems like a very cliche move, career-wise. My criticism there is, I would have enjoyed it more if a complete unknown was actually playing Bob Dylan. Because I'm just going to see Timothée Chalamet playing Bob Dylan as opposed to Bob Dylan. That's sort of why the Elvis biopic worked, even though I didn't think it was perfect. Because Austin Butler wasn't as big as he is now back then. I think biopics should almost act as a launching pad for the career of the person playing the iconic figure, as opposed to using an already iconic sort of person in popular culture to portray another influential person. It fucks with it, I think. And again, it acts more as a vehicle to service that actor's career blatantly than it does to do justice or do right by the person the picture's supposed to do justice. Could be good though, I'm just saying. That's my first thought when I saw that trailer. Thoughts? Death is the end of having lived. Affirmation of life itself. One way of looking at it. That's very glass half full. If the glass was empty, then you know it was at one point full. Or maybe you just bought the glass today, at which point there was never any water in it. Yeah, he saved his life for a second time. Oh, he gets more.
For your bravery, he has decided to grant you a fief that will provide an annual salary of 600 koku. He has also made you his chief admiral and general of the cannon regiment.
He's very qualified. I love how it cuts to all the men who are like, Jesus Christ, we've been here for years. And this guy just keeps leapfrogging us. He's got swords again. His own swords. I That was dope. I've said it before, though. You have to live in order to honor the dead. That's sort of what that moment was about. This part. Yeah. Yeah, it used to be his. Yeah, he didn't give it to him because he was qualified. Toranaga just knows he can't trust Toranaga. I mean, Toranaga just knows he can't trust Yabu. So he used that as an excuse almost. The life-saving. Time to write another will. Well, she's praying in Latin. I really would like to see some flashbacks of why she really fell hard for Catholicism. She's echoing her prayer. Wow, this scene's cool. Forever and ever. Well, that prayer hasn't changed at all. I mean, it does make sense. I guess she sort of fell into the religion after everything that went down with her father and the corrupt ruler. Oh, well then she would die. She would kill herself. No, she's bitter about it. She sees it. And he already failed. I do sympathize with Buntaro a little bit because it's like he loved this woman, but then he forced her to marry him. He loved a woman that would never love him back, and then she hates him even more now because of reasons, you know.
I must ask why he lavished me with the gift of his cannon regiment last night.
It's strategic.
I'm unable to serve him in the way he wishes me to, so I wish to leave.
That's never gonna happen.
I could attack the Portuguese black ship at sea, harming trade to the ports controlled by his Catholic rivals on the council.
This is not in our Lord's interest.
You're not supposed to
I'm
just
sorry, were you going to translate?
Yeah, he's...
Believe me, the Portuguese are neither here for the good of Japan nor Toranaga-sama. They are here to gain in the name of their god.
Why do you cling to this?
Yeah, what is going on? She's told...
I am reminded, an interpreter should interpret only.
That's what you said you were going to do. I think this is funny that he's sort of playing her in this moment. And she's like, There's like an old married couple vibe to this a little bit, you know?
That is all for now.
Yeah. She did know where it was going, though, the conversation, to be fair.
そなたとアンジェンの間に何があるのじゃ。
何も。
Oh, stop it.
あれの頭が冷えるよう一晩茶屋で遊ばせる膳立てを頼む。
Oh my
そこで一
god.
番上等の
Oh my god. You know why he's doing this, obviously. It's because he's testing her.
アンジェンの友もいたぜ。
Oh my god! Oh my god! He's fucking... Oh, he's trying to break her, kinda. Oh, well, that also could be useful if the talking while he pillows, but he's totally trying to dissuade her of any feelings she may have by making her watch. Dude, I was gonna say he's savage, but I don't mean it in the way that this show throws savage and barbarian around, right? You know how this show always labels their enemy a savage or a barbarian to dehumanize them and just make it easier to kill them or fight them or whatever. That's not what I meant. I meant savage in just the modern internet slang way. I had to pause and use the bathroom. I drink a lot of water in the mornings, which is good. Drink water, stay young. Always hydrate in the morning. It's important. But I already really like this episode because it's honestly Mariko's kind of the protagonist of this show in a way. We're in her headspace and getting these flashbacks about everything that went down before. Just the burning pigeons. Shido's taking the regents hostage? They've been locked in the castle along with their families? This is happening now. I thought this was the past for some reason. This escalated very quickly. Well, not really, but wow. I knew it was dangerous to leave them there. Oh. Hiromatsu is a G. I said he was sexy before, and he is.
Ishido claims there is a plot to kill the heir.
Well, he's just using that as an excuse.
And he has ordered that no regent shall be allowed to leave until they can elect a fifth member and sentence Toranaga to death.
He's just had enough.
This is her doing. The Lady Ochiba?
Oh, yeah. Absolutely is her doing.
It has accelerated since her return.
Yep.
That woman has no such power. I think the time has come for us to turn towards Toranaga as an ally.
That man is a Minowara, Martin.
Wow. Will Toranaga ally with them, though? I mean, he probably would, despite the things that Blackthorn's told him. That's what he was saying in the last scene. I'm not attacking friendlies or potential allies, because he's already losing, or on the verge of losing, the war. It makes sense that it would escalate in Osaka, though, given the way the last episode ended, with her being like, it's on, Ochiba. She's so creepy. And pleased with herself. She was really sad when her friend left. Oh, it was her father. I just made that connection. The corrupt ruler. Never returned. Wow. So Mariko's dad killed her dad. And then she wanted back the influence and power and privilege that she had before, so she hooked up with the Taiko. You know, Ochiba likely hates Mariko more than anyone. And this show has been about broken alliances and knowing who to trust. Keep your friends close, but your enemies closer, that whole thing. The fact that I feel as if a broken friendship, let alone a broken alliance, is at the center of this series, or at least being brought to the center of this series, is so fitting and compelling. We're prisoners to that woman. Those puppets. Yeah, as they watch what I believe to be a reenactment or a play depicting her side of the story or what happened to her father. It's wild. Maybe, I don't actually know what the play is. Master of none. choosing the wrong ally.
そなたのお父上のご逝去にはお悔やみ申し上げます。
That is their side of the story.
誰もかも流れに飲まれる小石と変わらぬ。
Dude, Ochiba's the opposite of Bariko. Because she's like, no, I'm not playing my role. I'm taking fate into my own hands, right?
我らに男の子を産んでくれる側室に譲ろうと思っておる。
Oh, the mirror.
これよりそなたは落ち葉の方と呼ばれる。女は生きておれば全てを失うやもしれぬ。じゃが全てを取り返
She
す
can
こと
also
もで
take
き
it
よう。
back. Dude, this scene vaguely feels like when Anakin put on the Darth Vader stuff for the first time, or was put in at the end of Revenge of the Sith.
宿命にそなたの生きる様を見せてやるがよい。
Oh, wow. Make herself seen. Oh.
亡き太閤様のお役、誠見事に演じて
She's
おら
literally
れま
just
したぞ。
spreading propaganda, or placing propaganda in front of her prisoners.
太閤様を手本と仰いだものじゃ。拙者のような元百姓でも大出世できると
I
な。
think I've mentioned how he definitely
生
identifies
ま
with
れ
the
ながら運
Taiko.
に恵まれる者もおれば、自らつかばねばならぬ者もおる。
Let's claim it.
何しろ芝居は拙者の何よりの楽しみでござりまするゆえ。
臣も大老となり、
They want him to be the fifth regent? A puppet they can control?
太閤様はご生前どの女子よりも落ち葉の方様を褒めておられましたぞ。
Oh, Shido's got the hots for her. He's probably even more appealing because he wants to be the Taiko, or wanted to be that man.
虎長を滅ぼすのじゃ。さすれば、我らはそなたの影について語ること
Your
になる。
shadow is zero. You know, the ladies of the Willow world in this, as that title refers to Ochiba, that lady who was advising her, telling her what she could become or is, they're starting to feel like the Bene Gesserit from Dune, which totally makes sense to reference, actually, because of the role religion plays in this. Also, everyone's sexy in this as well. Crimson Sky. Sounds like a finishing move.
古典とは何でございまする。
Yeah. Good question. Single violent rush on on Osaka Castle.
これまでの大老会議を廃し、新しい体制を作り上げる。虎長様を一人を大老とする体制をじゃ。
Dude, he's had this plan in his back pocket the whole time. I bet you Toranaga's always planned on doing this. Eventually.
父は戦では負け知らず。俺はわしが戦を先に仕掛けたことがないからじゃ。
古典はいたさん。
Oh, he doesn't want to do it.
わしは将軍の位を望んだことなどない。今後も望まぬ。
虎長様より、お菊は今宵空いておるか聞いてまいれと申しつかりましたゆえ。
Lady Kiku? Not her. No way, dude. Lady, she would be honored.
伊豆中のお茶屋を総上げしたいのではござりません。
波の友情屋とは違うということはご承知おきくだ
No
さい。
ordinary brothel.
うちの子たちは皆一流の芸達者でございまする。
Kiku, do you love me? Are you riding? Say you'll never ever leave from beside me. Because I want you. Because I need you.
安仁様への褒美にござりまする。
あなた様と安仁様は
Oh, dude, everyone knows.
耳にしたものでございますか。
Basically.
うちの茶屋をお楽しみいただけるかと存じまする。
This is exciting. This is like something out of CW, but way more Willow worldy.
中に入ればこの世の高貴な目は届きません。
Oh, God.
300問目でよろしいでしょう。
お二方様のお越しをお待ちしております。
She lost that negotiation in more ways than one.
なぜ虎長公が万人を徴用なさるの
Oh, yeah, this would bother Ami.
万人なぞ私は何とも思っておりません。
Kiku is probably psyched about this opportunity to become even more affluent. Yeah, he didn't kiss her. It's actually so smart that Toranaga is sending Blackthorn to her, especially if he's aware of the influence she has over Yabu and Ami, and he knows it'll stir the pot. Or maybe I'm just reading into things and overestimating Toranaga, but I don't think so.
It's not the honor so much as being unable to understand why in Christ's name I'm receiving it.
Yeah.
Usually wives like me are not permitted to go through the gate. But in this case, a special exception has been made.
Does Toranaga-sama know about?
There is nothing to know.
He knows enough, probably. He's inferred, surmised things, discerned. Is Blackthorn gonna do this, though? Because he cares about Mariko, and he wouldn't just do it in front of her. That's cold. That's insane. There's no way. I'm surprised he didn't protest more. Maybe he just thinks he's gonna watch her dance or something. What a way to have her arrive right now, that shot. In the wind, we can hear her behind her. She's like she's...
It is fitting to share your reaction. Tell her she's beautiful.
This is so weird. Mariko's wingman wing translating him. This is terrible. This show has some amazingly awkward scenes that evolve into other things that we get to learn about the characters. Like the dinner scene with Buntaro. Imagine that's going to happen here.
No, I might have found this pleasurable.
By not making a scene. For both of our sakes.
It's true. I imagine he is sort of forced to by Toranaga to do this, even though it's supposed to be a reward. They know it's a test. Yikes. Is this gonna be
the way she poured your sake.
Oh, it's just sake.
Courtesans like you could only study it for years.
You pour very well.
She assumes it is different from where you're from.
I'd say so.
Yeah, he's not gonna
Where
do
I come
this.
from, our prostitutes are neither this well presented nor as inquisitive.
They still aren't here. This isn't England, but yeah. I've never met one.
ないからこそ確かにあったのだと思うのでしょう。はい、皆様。
She has ambiance, atmosphere,
Empty space and its symbols.
down to a science. This is cool. Kinda. The whorehouse. It's really awesome.
明かりもお望み次第で真っ暗闇になりまする。
Romantic.
女は女の
Artistic.
苦しみを見過ごせぬもの。
Even she knows. She's really good at reading people.
She wishes to explain to you the meaning of the Willow world.
Their way of life, pretty
こ
much.
ちら
She
に
is
お
a
いでにな
geisha.
る方は皆様。忘れたいものをお持ちでございます。
Mm.
Most come here to escape from boredom or pain.
Dude, she's sitting right behind Mariko, so it's gonna seem like she's the one saying all this, actually.
They believe this place is about physical pleasure, which it is. They want to be any place other than where they are.
Which is both of them, Mariko and Blackthorn. Dude,
I offer you relief from this.
Dude, Kiku's gonna get them to do it again.
To create one perfect moment.
And her voice faded away. It's just Mariko speaking.
Settle your eyes on what you desire.
Oh my god. This is so smart.
Just as I am. With nothing between us. I ask you into my openness. I ask you. 今ここで私と一つになってください。
Whoa, she's not gonna try and get him to hook up. She's just messing with them. Oh, she's gonna try and get it. Oh, damn it. I mean, I wasn't rooting for a three-way. That's not what I meant. I don't know what I wanted. This scene was very confusing, but really well acted. It was really well done. 。  . 。 . 。 . 。 . 。 . 。 . 。 .
「 。 . 」 . 」 . 」 . 」 . 」 . 」 . 」 . 」 . 」 . 」 . 」 . 」 . 」
。 . 。 。 . 。 . 。 . 。 . 。
「
Kiss her! Kiss her, you crazy son of a bitch! Or rub her hand goodbye. This is sad as fuck. Good. I'm happy we didn't have to like live in the moment where he actually goes away with Kiku, or the time that he spent with her in that room. Yeah, that's not how he feels.
またのお越しをとお伝えくださいませ。指折り数えてお待ちしておりまする。
She is honored.
Yeah. Well, Mariko didn't like that. That was shade. Sort of. I'm sorry. Wow, there's so many feelings and layers to all of this. It's unreal. That scene though, Kiku deliberately sat behind Mariko, and then it was filmed as if it was Mariko reflecting on her own feelings, speaking to Blackthorn. They were brought closer in that moment almost, even though it was about them as individuals. More so Mariko, and Blackthorn was just enamored with her in that moment. The audio allowed Kiku's voice to sort of fade into the background. That was affecting. It really makes their love story, because that's what it is at this point. Very tragic. Wrong place, wrong time. Quite literally with those two. Very literally. And their love story does feel essential to the narrative now. I don't know if I felt that way before. It just felt fun before. Close with Ochiba.
その頃は瑠璃姫という名前でござりました。落ち葉の方となられてからは。
Yeah, so she doesn't even look at her as the same person.
何があの娘を今のような女子に変えたのじゃと思う。
Tragedy? Fate. Hardship. The same sort of things that Mariko has gone through.
買わねばならぬものがある。非道な真似はせんものじゃ。
それは殿方に限ったお話ではござりませぬか。さまざまな野望のために戦に出られまする。されど女子は常に戦うておるのでござりまする。
マリコが男に生まれておったならと申しておられたが。
Because she's brilliant.
そなたのために見事な策を練っておられたの。
ならば私の嫁ぎ先ももう少しお考えくださればようございましたように。
Yeah. She's just saying this to him right now, damn.
気づいておらなんだのか。
What?
そなたを嫁がせることで。できうる限り父の戦。
Oh, damn. Yeah, that makes sense. So that you might survive the thing that you don't even want.
娘が受け継ぎ、全うできるように。
Why would you have told her this a long time ago, Toranaga? She's been suffering without that knowledge. Because that's not what her father told her at all. Play your role is what he said, basically. Oh, he just assumed she'd know? I failed him. Yeah, kinda. I mean, you were given so many mixed signals. It's not your fault. No, it's not. She's at war, like she said. This also feels like it could be a manipulation on Toranaga's part. I wonder how much of a role he played in her father killing the ruler, the past ruler, Ochiba's father. Maybe that's why Ochiba hates Toranaga so much. This guy doesn't want this job. He just wanted to act. He just wanted to play these characters, not actually become them. There's some meta commentary there. Good for you, bro. Look at the actor, like, oh shit, on my first day? We gotta deal with this? Yeah, everyone else is sort of... Well, everyone else is sort of afraid. Ishido's serving himself. This show is about Mariko's war with Ochiba.
何故私がかような思いを虎長に抱くのかと。確かに我が父を手にかけたのは明智人妻かもしれぬ。じゃが裏で糸を引いておったのは虎長じゃ。あの男が誰にも見せぬ胸の内も。
Dude, if Toranaga did use Miriko's dad as a puppet,
その方らに虎長を食い止めることはできぬ。
because we did see that moment at the beginning of this episode when he whispered to Miriko's dad and said, not now, sort of thing. I don't remember his exact words.
他の誰にもできなかったことじゃ。
She was the only one fertile enough? What does that mean, though?
苦き薬草で酔わせ口にできぬようなことを強いた。お世継ぎの母になれた私一人。その方にはわかるか？
I assume it's something biological. What are you going to say here?
宿命に我が姿を見せつけたからじゃ。
Sure, that's not how that works, but okay. I get what you mean. Oh, what the Oh, this is crazy and in a metaphor, but yeah. For a second, I thought she mentioned clawed out the Taiko's eyes, but no, obviously not. She's a heathen. She doesn't worship anyone but herself. Or anything. I don't think... I think he's a little more complex than that, but... Well...
杉山殿が亡くなられた。大坂から脱出を図り、賊に切り殺されたのじゃ。
Yeah, that's not what happened. It's always bandits. That's what, like when Yabu killed all the dudes trying to take or execute Blackthorn.
戦線が布告されるであろう。わしは領地を欲してなどおらん。名を上げようとも思わぬ。
I don't actually believe that Toranaga doesn't want to be Shogun now.
好天じゃ。
Yeah, Crimson Sky. I think I knew he was gonna declare this or enact this. Oh, and it's the same thing he did at the beginning of the episode, but for different reasons. Wow. Wow. I'm very entertained and psyched about war for entertainment purposes, but you know how they say there's two sides to every story, and the truth, more often than not, lies somewhere in between. So you have Ochiba's side of the story, Toranaga's side of the story. Those are essentially the two sides of the story of what went down with the last ruler, the death of Ochiba's father. I am going to make the assumption that the truth lies somewhere in between. So what I'm about to say isn't that Toranaga doesn't want what's best for the realm, just that he believes he's what's best for the realm. And I think when he says, oh, I don't want unnecessary conflict, or I don't want to enact Crimson Sky, he's saying those things to inspire the kind of loyalty and reverence he wants in his followers, because he knows those are honorable things to say. But I think he knew it was always going to lead to Crimson Sky. I think he thought that Ochiba's dad was a terrible ruler, was bad for the realm. I think he may have used Miriko's father as a puppet to kill him, because he knew that in the wake of his death, he needed to still be around so that he could use his lineage and birthright to become the ruler the realm needed. This is what I think is happening. And again, to reiterate, for the people who didn't see some of my last videos, at one point I did see a spoiler that said in the title of an article, or it referred to a Toranaga twist. That is probably the main reason I'm making these assumptions. So I'm not trying to masquerade and say that my intuition is that good. Sometimes it is, to be fair. I'm going to toot my own horn or punch the air with my ego, like I'm enacting Crimson Sky. Because you can be a good ruler and also want to rule. And good politicians will always say altruistic things because they know that's what they need to say. They can't say the truth, which is that I want this or I want to go to war, even if it's not for the betterment of those involved in the war. I don't think it's as simple as like, this show's not straightforward. There's so many layers to it. There's so many layers to the characters. And I want to believe that Toranaga is this righteous, altruistic character, but he's probably more realistically self-righteous. You know, I said that this show's becoming about a personal war between Mariko and Ochiba. It's obviously more about a war between Toranaga and Ochiba, which is what that last episode sort of did, was flesh out the ways in which those two are pitted against each other. Two characters that are very much taking fate into their own hands. It's interesting that in that episode we saw Ochiba say to Mariko, focus on the things you can control, because she was comfortable, right? She was comfortable in her position in the world. And then once she became uncomfortable, she decided that, no, I'm going to control everything, even the things that realistically or sensibly aren't within my power to control. She let her ego take over because she knew her ego could drive her to get back what she lost. And that's what war is all about. Ego, right? I would say that Mariko isn't even driven by her ego. She's probably the most righteous character, because I was talking about self-righteous characters. And Blackthorn's just interesting in the middle of the mix because he's just a dude. Very much a surrogate for the audience who's like, I'm just in love with this chick and everything that's happening around me is crazy. I kind of just want to go home. Get me out of here. But where are my boys? Where are the guys I came with? Where's my ship? Why do I have to have sex with people that I don't like? Mariko's the one you root for now, I think, though, as a viewer. And when she said that men go to war for a multitude of reasons, women are simply at war, I think if you look at that through a modern lens, people will be like, oh, this show's about feminism. Well, obviously, in this time period, the lives of women were a byproduct of their relationship with men. Mariko is alive after the events of what went down with her father and Ochiba's father, simply because she is married, and her husband demands that she not commit seppuku. And Ochiba, after losing status and being told never to return to Osaka, has used men like rungs in a ladder to climb and claw her way back up. Like she was saying, like clawed the eyes out of fate. I think that referenced a line earlier, right, in the episode. That actress really carries herself well for this role, plays Ochiba. Also, you know what I just realized? At the beginning of the last episode, when Toranaga is talking to Buntaro, he advises Buntaro to divorce Mariko. And then at the end of the episode, he tells Mariko that your father had you married off so that you would survive after he enacted his plan. If that were true, and Toranaga wanted Mariko to finish her war or remain alive, which is the implication of him telling her that, why would he tell Buntaro to divorce her? Because that marriage is what's keeping her alive, basically. It's almost like he said that to her in the moment after realizing what she was thinking and feeling to motivate her and manipulate her. I think I even said that. Whoa. Dude, there are a lot of breadcrumbs in this show. There's a lot going on. It's also incredibly ironic that I was talking about sexy before I watched that last episode, because those tea house scenes were incredibly sexy. And it really illustrated Kiku's prowess. She noticed what was between Mariko and Blackthorn and then exploited it to turn on both of them, making Mariko say all those things she likely wanted to say, and then invited both of them into the back, basically. But Mariko didn't let Blackthorn know that, because he would have said yes. Because Kiku totally wanted both, because she could have exploited the information that all three of them hooked up, for sure. Could have used that to her advantage. The leverage power. There's so many layers to that tea house scene. And in the moment, I was so confused by it, which I think, not confused in that I didn't know what was happening, confused how to feel, because it's a very horny scene, but it also alludes back to the eightfold fence and all this other stuff, right? That is happening with the characters. Sorry, I meant to already be watching the next episode, but now I feel like I have so much more to say. And I mentioned before how now I feel like the romance between Blackthorn and Mariko is necessary, especially when you think about how she didn't want to be married off to Buntaro. But that's not to say that she didn't want to be married in general or have a love interest in general. I'm saying that the relationship between those two characters really acts as a catalyst to flesh out how they feel about their circumstances. It is crucial to this series. A lot of other stories use romance in the same way that some use action sequences to keep people's attention. Sometimes it's not necessary. Sometimes it's just meant to entertain or for sex appeal, to sell the show to audiences that aren't really looking to pay attention. This is doing the complete opposite of that. It elevates everything else that's happening. And I'm very invested in those two characters. I'm way more emotionally connected to Mariko and Blackthorn than any of the other characters in this show because of their relationship with one another. And ironically, or coincidentally, intentionally, all the other characters would rather that be put aside so that we could get on with this war, especially Toranaga. Yeah, I think that's all I have to say. A stick of time. Outplayed by new alliances in Osaka, Toranaga is forced to carve out a new deal with a long-lost family member, his brother.
The Last Dance, exclusively in movie theaters October 25th.
And then now there's an ad for Venom: The Last Dance. Could care less about that movie. And I love Tom Hardy, sorry bro. Because that's just an unnecessary film, in my opinion. And I was talking about unnecessary storytelling. But sometimes things can just be entertaining, if that'll be entertaining, I don't know. What's going on? Are we already in battle? What? What? Is this going to be a non-linear episode? Oh, his first battle 46 years ago. We get a young, very young Toranaga. Whoa, very young. Oh, and just like the last episode where we get to see Oshiba's backstory, we get to see what made Toranaga experience this. Oh shit, this is going to be cool. Wait, there's that word again. Dude, little Toranaga, tiny Toranaga is... I haven't yet thought of a word to describe him. The boy warlord. He's always been a prodigy like this. A prodigy warlord. Tiny Toranaga didn't say anything in that cold open. My takeaway from that was he's always been effective. He's a boy, and he didn't hesitate. He didn't squirm. He was quite literally born for this, the world in which he lives. Which is not to say that he could prosper in other worlds or the afterlife. But this life, why dude's saying maybe I'll be the guy holding the sword the next time we meet. I wonder if that's all we get of Tiny Toranaga. Because that boy's acting was just another day, you know? This is going to be his brother. This is like Dumbledore and his brother. I don't even remember Dumbledore's brother's name, honestly. In this moment, at least. She's like, don't insult my man's intelligence. That was kind of what that seemed to convey. Husband. Mediocre brother. Oh. You've tamed a barbarian. Look at him go. It's like his brother's been waiting for this. Years ago, he was just like, bro, you go off, you get her done, you grind, you build yourself up. I'll be waiting. When you come back, I'll help you finish the job. For a second, I questioned myself and thought maybe that opening scene was of his brother. And we'll get some scene later where it's like, some reveal where it's like, oh, Toranaga wasn't always like this. My half brother? Never mind. He was just pretending to.
Does this order of Crimson Sky mean that I am to be given maritime command?
No.
後天で自分に命ぜられる役割についてお尋
She
ね
knows the answer is no as well.
何も決めてはおらぬ。
He's becoming annoyed
Then I
with
suggest you take
Blackthorn.
this no further.
Yeah.
Well, here I am, bestowed countless gifts, titles, swords, and fiefs, but when it comes time to actually serve him, I'm ignored.
Yeah, because it's all for show, dude.
I'm beginning to wonder if these gifts have any bloody meaning at all.
Not really.
I urge you to let this go.
You're a puppet, dude, and he could kill you.
Please tell him I am ready for whatever our fate may bring.
どんな宿命が待ち構えていようと。
They
お貴公7日の間お買い上げになったのでございます。近江様のような意気盛んなお若いお侍様にもっと似合いのものを。
more suitable courtesan.
菊が万人と枕を交わして以来
Yeah, she's too good for you now.
よくよく思い返してみれば、あの夜安仁様のお心は別の方のもとにあったような。
Oh my god. It's just as bad as if Mariko did have that three-way because Kiku saw it. So she could still use it against them.
おじい様。
Oh, Fuji. I didn't pay enough attention to Fuji in the last episode. I'm sorry, Fuji. Because she was funny in some moments, for sure. She was wonderful. I love Fuji. Our dearest Fuji. I didn't even talk about Fuji at all. She wasn't really the focus of the episode.
俺はわしからお前に手渡したいと思うての。
Oh, is it the remains? Oh, yeah.
このお務めを果たしましたら、私も自害して灰になるつもりにございます。
なぜ生きようとせん。
Yeah, why not live?
何故二人が。
Right.
この先に。
Will they be victory? What does that even mean or entail? Sorry, sometimes I'm obviously responding before they finish speaking because I'm just reading the subtitles, which is whatever, I guess. It is what it is.
無論我らは勝利いたしましょう。こちらには長がおりますもの。
Fuji is so hip to what's actually happening. Like, she's not stupid by any means, but she's very shackled by her status, which keeps her, there's like guardrails in her mind. I want her just to be free of it all. And she will always feel trapped. She doesn't care about who wins. She don't care about the mantle of Shogun.
初めて敵を討ち取った時は初めて女子を知るより心地よいものじゃと聞いたが。
どこでそのようなことを聞かれたのですか。
Yeah, that doesn't sound accurate.
それは女子によりますよ。
Depends on the woman. Yeah, I don't think it. Yeah, whatever. We don't need to get into that.
最後に会った時は顎にも股にも毛が生えておらなんだのにの。
Okay. Toranaga thinks his brother's a douche for sure.
お腹を垂らすことに関してはおじ親の方がずっと上手じゃ。
How's that funny?
Saiki-sama remarks about how long it has been since he has seen Nagakato-sama.
ほら見てみろ。ユウたちも熊井川へ。
Oh, jeez.
奥方様があのように一心に安心様へ
Just looked her up and down in front of Buntaro.
我が父の若い頃の話をしてくださいませんか。
そうじ
Well, that's why we got that scene earlier.
ゃ。兄上が元服を迎えん年で初陣に勝ったのは知っておるか。戦の振動じゃ。一刀のもとに切り落としたのじゃ。
What happened? There's kind of a little smirk on Toranaga's face there. Because for him, it was like the first time he got laid. Kinda. Because they were just talking about women. And are.
いや、ご扇の吉井虎中殿はわしの軍に何を下さるというのじゃ。
Oh.
わしに伊豆を下さるおつもりかの。だとしたら大層なものじゃ。
That's why he was happy to see his brother. He does want stuff.
我らが母上は兄上に勇ましゅう振る舞いと言われた。袴にクソを漏らし。いや、兄上をコケにしたわけではございませぬぞ。お主はどちらが好みじゃ。おとぎ話か伝説か、それとも誠にあった話か。
I was gonna say, like, what if Toranaga wasn't always like this? His brother's trying to knock him down a peg, and everyone else is like, you do you, but we want no part in this. What? Oh yeah, he's not fucking around. He really means this. It wasn't just about stories and jabs verbally. He's actually acting on these wants. Oh yeah, he totally played him. They hadn't seen each other for a while, and he definitely holds things against his brother. Oh, and he allied with Ishido. I didn't expect this, but I guess I'm not surprised. What a terrible brother. Oh, wow. Oh my god, he has to still put on this face somewhat. And I love that moment because his son doesn't understand the game. And he's like, no! I understand that we're supposed to say these things, but don't touch that. Yikes. His uncle, Nagakado's uncle, was literally like, here, you're screwed, take this. Allies with ambition or no allies. Doesn't matter if they're your family.
My Rasmus is still moored in that cove. If you could get me the clearance I need to go aboard, then we could be out of that channel and we could
sail off into the sunset together. That's, yeah, whatever.
What could we do, Anjin-sama?
He's a realist.
Anything is better than standing here pissing around.
He's not wrong either. Thinking about his first time again, because this could be his last. Oh, it's gonna be the head of the game. Yeah. Eureka, I've got it! He has no intention of dying. Because men see it as a rite of passage. Oh yeah, they gotta pay this.
歌方の世に生きるとはどのようなこと殿はご存知でございましょうか。お偉い殿方にお尽くしすることにございます。
Yeah, that's why that was the name of the last episode. Because that's what Ochiba and Mariko, they live in the Willow world. Just the woman's world in this world.
殿は江戸に新しい都を作りになっておられます。歌方のように殿の庇護を賜りたいのでございます。一丁分を思い浮かべてくださりませ。その囲いの中に遊女屋というよりは私がこの地に作りました茶屋。また遊女のためには座を設けます。
A guild for courtesans, like a red light district, but not as dirty. It's not a bad idea. And if he survives, novel distraction. It's a good plan though, because it's like a whole industry he could use to his advantage.
そうでございましょうか。
Ooh, the tone in her voice just shifted. He doesn't believe that. He's writing it.
宿命は刀と同じ。それを操れる者にのみ助けとなります。かような忌まわしい宿命、呪わぬ者がおりましょうか。されど辛酸をなめるうちに野心とテレンテグラが身につき、今の私はいずれ一番の女長者にござりまする。
She's becoming...
手勢を弱らせたまま放っておいて弟君を迎えると、何故かようにうかつな過ちを。
I didn't even realize that. She saw right through him.
こんな遊女の慣れの果てのババアに線香ももうとっくに燃え尽きました。
Dude, I love how this show has so many scenes that you think are one thing, but they turn into something else. In that scene specifically, I was talking about the power dynamic. She became the one with the power in that scene. And the knowledge, I suppose. But now I believe Toranaga is baiting them. Maybe him and his brother.
おりゃいいや。
時折あの頃の暮らしに戻りとうなりまする。
ここがただの寂れた貧しい漁村に過ぎなんだ頃か。
仰せの通り。
Hmm.
かつての良き者は皆我らがより多くを求めたがゆえに奪われてしもうたんでござる。
Homie's having this moment of realization.
名を残すためとあらば恥も外聞もあるものか。己はどうじゃなかと。鶏のように殺され、名も立てぬうちに忘れ去られるのじゃぞ。死とは森の中の孤独な道に過ぎぬ。
Wow. What he was saying directly contrasts with what Omi was saying about missing the simple life.
この宿命に縛られておる。どれほど死を避けても次の死が待ってお
Death,
る。
I see if there's another waiting. Yeah, he's always writing wills.
ついで大坂、そしてこたびじゃ。
He's saying all this to him. Yeah, what I was gonna say, what's going on? It's like pissing in the wind. Well, this is a moment for Yabu because he can sort of let things off his chest.
Okay. This appears to be occurring.
2 hands, bud.
2 hands.
もう一度じゃ。拾え。
He's training him. This is kind of nice.
I'm a fucking sailor. I don't know this blade from the handle.
貴様が何を話してるのかわしにはわからん。何を笑っておる。
Yeah, let's go, Blackthorn. Let's figure this out. Oh, here comes Montaro. Either using this as an excuse to hurt him or maybe trying to help him. I don't know what's happening here.
Well, go on then.
Again, a scene evolves into something. It just really pissed him off seeing him hold a sword.
わしがいなかったら死んでおったぞ。間抜けめ。
Or draw his sword. Oh. Fuji.
戦になるのなら私も戦いまする。
藤殿の亡き夫のようにな。あの日忠義殿が父上のためにしたことをの本来ならば拙者が一同の比例を咎めるべきでござった。
What are you doing here?
我らはできる時にできることをいたすもの。あとはそれで足りるように祈ることしかできませぬ。
Didn't think those 2 characters would be in a scene anytime soon. Suppose it makes sense. We do what we can when we can and hope it's enough. Nakado has to stop trying to be more than he is. I think Fuji's very comfortable with who she is, and Nagakado isn't.
領地はすべて孫たちが成人した折に継がせるように。
He's writing his will now.
江戸に2丁の土地を用意し。
Yabu, am I forgetting anything?
殿に申し上げたき義がございます。妻の同席もお許し願いませんか。拙者に万人の首を取らせてくださいませ。
Jesus.
あの万人が殿に付き従うておるのは、ただ己の利を求めるが
That
ゆえ
can
の
be
こと。
said for so many people.
あいつが妻に向ける目つきが気に入り
Oh,
ません。
that's the reason. Makes sense.
万人の首をと申しましたが、妻の首をと申しておりません。わしの問いに答えよ。申すことはあるか。
私の命は
She wants this. But in order to get it, it would mean that Blackthorn has to die too. To get what she wants.
妻に過ちがあったと思うておりますね。ならば安心も責められまい。
Oh my god. What a conundrum. Oh my god.
申し上げました。成田速攻よいしょ。
You can't have your cake and eat it too. Or heads. No.
私は殿にお仕えしておりまする。
あの万人が絡むと、いつも物事の順序が
I
曖
don't
昧
think
に
she
なる。
has recently. I mean,
父の敵と戦うわしの側におるのか。
私は殿に心からの忠義を尽くしてまいりました。
yeah, it's true.
死を待ちながら時を過ごすのは苦しみの川で溺れ続けることに似ております。
違いすることをお許しくださります。この業の深い人生から私を解き放ってくださります。
You know what? He doesn't respect that way of thinking. He probably thinks it's foolish. And he was thinking about this guy.
たわけたことを言い出したとき、何故止めなんだ。敵将の首をはねた話よ。バカらしい。一刀のもとに切り落としたじゃと。
ああ。
くたびでございましたぞ。
Just 9 times before the head came off.
むごいことをなされましたな。
Oh my
小っぱ
god.
に解釈を頼む方が愚かなのじゃ。
Yeah, no shit. Stories are better than the truth. Cleaner. Like codes. They're easier.
佐伯殿。わしはその方に降伏し。
He has surrendered.
恐れながら虎長様。
口を挟むでない。わしの腹はもう決まっておる。皇帝は誤りであった。
You know, I don't know if anyone watching this has seen Vikings. But I feel like Ragnar did something similar to this. If you get my drift.
Behold the great warlord. Brilliant master of trickery. Who tricked his own loyal vassals into a noiseless smothering. Mina Shinu.
I don't think that's what's happening, though. Maybe I just believe in Toranaga too much. Maybe I am overestimated him. Nothing left to be. Yeah, I don't think so. Like how that line allude to like he'll never be Shogun, you know? So guys, I'm real insecure right now because I always go back from saying Mariko and Mariko. I think it's Mariko? I don't know, man. I was thinking about that. Instinctively, Mariko feels right, and Mariko doesn't. But I started saying Mariko more because I wasn't trusting my gut. You're probably thinking, well, they've said it a bunch of times in the show. They say it really fast, though. And then I just get in my own head and overthink it, and yeah. She's choking him?
私たちのマグアイを高めさせていただいてもよろしゅうございまするか。
取ってまいれ。
Feels like a trick. Toranaga conspired with the Willows. Or devised a plan, a strategy with the Willows. The Willow world. He's going to use it to his advantage. Has to be. Has to be. What's happening? Yeah. Unless he did this on his own accord, but I don't think so. Oh, maybe he is doing this. I have no idea. Maybe Fuji motivated him. No, they're all in here. What the fuck? You gotta be kidding me. That was fateful. Destiny hates this kid. Some legacy. Yeah, what's the beauty in this? Where is the beauty in this? I don't know. It's crazy. That's the point. This was completely out of his control. I guess. What? What a way to end an episode that was all about legacy and destiny and plans. And that was just like, no, this isn't going to go the way you think it's going to go. Because life is chaos and happenstance. And sometimes you slip and fall, and that's it. And Nagakado thought he could control the outcome. All right, I'm going to think about this.